Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live Weather Authority coverage starts right now.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great Sunday. Hope you've had a great weekend overall. We've had a pretty nice weekend. I mean, it's been a little bit cool out there today. You probably noticed the wind. We had a cold front pass through the state earlier this morning. It was pretty much a dry cold front, but we did see the wind pick up during the daytime today. And it, of course, is going to stay on the colder side as we head through the nighttime tonight. That's going to be the case for the daytime tomorrow as well. So if you have any plans, no other issues for the day on Monday in particular, we are going to see lots of sunshine, but it is going to be on the cold side as we head into the daytime tomorrow. I know a lot of you guys are tuning in because you want to know about Tuesday night into early Wednesday. We do have some snow on the way, and I will talk more about that in just a little bit. Let's first get a look at the satellite and radar loop right now, and you can see not much to talk about. We are just looking at some lake effect snow over towards parts of New York, Lake Ontario. We are looking at some pretty heavy snow bands moving off of the lake right now. But overall, we are looking at mainly dry conditions, maybe a few upslope snow showers over towards the White Mountains. Other than that, though, we're looking pretty good. We are looking at clouds, I would say partly cloudy across most areas. And we are going to see these skies become mostly sunny as we head into the day on Monday. Now, the temperatures out there right now, it's only 1 degree on Mount Washington, but most of us are running in the 20s to right about 30. We have 31 degrees in Portland. It's 30 degrees in the Sanford area up towards the north. That's where temperatures have already dropped into the upper teens for areas like Rangeley. 24 degrees right now up towards the north. We can actually take a little trip across the state. So why don't we do that? If you are stepping outside this evening, it's 24 degrees in Weld over towards Carrabassett Valley, 25 degrees. Bethel coming in about 27 right now. And then let's go down towards parts of York and Cumberland County. And you can see the numbers out there are running in the upper 20s to low 30s. Right at the freezing mark in Kennebunk over towards Kittery, it's 29 degrees right now in Standish. Brunswick coming in about 30 degrees at the moment. And then the mid-coast, we are looking at numbers very similar in the upper 20s to lower 30s. But again, a little bit of a wind out there is going to create those temperatures that feel more like the teens for many areas. So again, the wind's going to slowly calm down. It should, at least, as we head through the evening and nighttime. Tomorrow, a little bit of a breeze, not too big of a deal. We are looking at wind speeds sustained between 5 to 15 miles per hour right now. And as we get a look at the wind gusts, we are gusting 20 to, up to 30 miles per hour in Rangeley. But most of us 20, 25 mile per hour wind gusts right now. So this is all due to that cold front that passed through earlier today. You can see the winds are out of the north and west right now. So it is going to be on the breezy side this evening and tonight. So let's get a look at your planner. And we are looking at mostly clear skies for the nighttime tonight. Temperatures dropping from the 20s, eventually into the teens. And some single digits up towards the north as well. So the numbers will fall pretty quickly as we head through the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. So this is what you have to wake up to tomorrow. We are looking at temperatures running in the teens for many areas. We will see some single digits in spots as well. Up towards the north, we will see numbers in the 7, 8, 9 degree range for areas like Rumford, even Berlin as well. We will be on the cold side again for the nighttime tonight. And here's your planner for the day on Monday. Again, nothing to worry about. Just grab the thick winter coat on the way out the door. Temperatures running in the 20s for the most part as we head into the daytime tomorrow. A little bit of a breeze will make it feel more like the teens. All right, so now let's talk about Tuesday. Really Tuesday, I would call it afternoon into the early parts of Wednesday. So we have this system that's diving south from south central Canada Monday afternoon, Monday evening. And we do have this storm that is going to pass through the Great Lakes region. And you can see, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, a lot of us are going to start to see our first snowflakes start to fall. So snow develops as we head through Tuesday afternoon and into Tuesday evening. It looks like the steadiest snow is during the nighttime on Tuesday. So call it maybe 8 p.m. through 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when I think the steadiest and heaviest snow will fall across the area. And then we are going to see this continue into the morning hours Wednesday before eventually the snow will end. And then we will see skies start to clear. But I want to point something out. And it is this guy right here. We have what looks to be potentially a little bit of a trough setting up across the area. Now, that is not unusual. That is honestly kind of typical with storms like this, especially as they move off the coast. But we are going to see that develop. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second, why that's important. That storm moves out of here. Again, we are looking at drying conditions for the day on Wednesday. Some sunshine is expected as well. Now, before we get into a closer look of Storm Tracker, I want to point out what I just mentioned. It looks like as the storm moves off the coast down to our south on Wednesday, specifically Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, it looks like an inverted trough will develop. Now, an inverted trough is a scientific way of saying there's essentially converging winds. As you converge winds, the air lifts. When the air lifts, you get precipitation and you can get heavier banding right where this inverted trough sets up. Now, I screenshotted this. We're right around 3 o'clock on Wednesday morning. And you can see some of those darker blues indicated right along where I drew this trough. In this area in particular, we are looking at the potential for some banding to set up in these areas. I think from the Cumberland County area over towards the mid-coast is where we will see the best chance for some of those heavier bands to set up. So that is something we are going to keep a very close eye on. And the Weather Center, of course, over the next couple of days is there's some banding set up Tuesday night into Wednesday morning that could have some isolated amounts, maybe 6 or more inches of snow. So that is something to keep a close eye on. Here's a look from Storm Tracker. And this is Tuesday afternoon. Notice just some light, maybe at times moderate snow starting to develop across the area. And then this is 9 p.m. and we are looking at a generally snow. Now, I can't rule out a little bit of mix. I think this computer model is a little bit overdone in this area. I think most of us will just generally see snow for, even the coastline for Cumberland, York County up through the mid-coast. This is primarily a snowmaker. Can I rule out, maybe a few sleet pellets in some spots? No, I can't rule it out. But I do think for the most part, this is a snowmaker for just about everybody in the area. But I also want to point out what I was just talking about during the overnight hours. You notice some of these darker blues showed right here from the mid-coast over towards Portland, the Cumberland County area. There could be, again, some of this area seeing some banding, which is why I think most of us will see about 3 to 5 inches of snow. And I'll show you the map in just a second. But I do think there will be some isolated 6-inch amounts. And if I'm being totally honest with you guys, there's going to probably be some areas that see some of the steadier banding that could set up. And again, right now, models are showing from the Cumberland County area over towards the mid-coast that some of that could set up. And then eventually it starts to move on out of here. And we are looking at clearing skies as we head into the day on Wednesday. So this is the snowfall map. You may have already seen it on Facebook posted already, but we are looking at 3 to 6 inches of snow. In that darker blue shading where you see that 3 to 6, I think what you have there is most of us looking at 3 to 5 inches of snow. I do think, again, in those parts that I was talking about, there could be maybe a little bit more in some spots from Cumberland County over towards the mid-coast if that trough sets up where these computer models are showing at the moment. Keep in mind, we are still 48 hours before the storm, so we are going to continue to update this as we head closer to this storm. But there could be some 6-7 inch amounts possible in some spots as we head through the Tuesday night, Wednesday morning time frame. So it could certainly be a slippery morning commute as you head into the day on Wednesday. And then it looks to the south, like southern New Hampshire, 2 to 4 inches up towards areas like Greenville and Bangor, just a little bit too far away from the center of low pressure, likely around 2 to 4 inches there. And then up towards the areas up towards the Vermont region, so to speak. Some of the Green Mountains there, you can see 3 to 6 inches there as well. And that is partly due to some upslope snow helping us see a little bit more in that region, but also temperatures will be a little bit cooler. So with cooler temperatures, you're also talking higher snowfall ratios. So that'll probably help it, pile up a little bit more in some of the Green Mountains of Vermont. But again, the reason that 3 to 6 is there is I do think it will linger where you see the dark shading here highlighted in this area. I do think the snow lasts a little bit longer into Wednesday morning in this area as that storm system will kind of depart down to our south and east. So let me get to some of you guys' questions. Rosalva, hello to you. Hope you are having a good one. I am certainly doing pretty good. Just been very busy this afternoon, if I'm being honest. All right. Hello to you, Troy from Augusta. Yes, Travis, 3 to 6 for most of us. Again, I would say there will be, again, the chance for some places to see, Cumberland County through the mid coast to see a little bit more potentially. We will keep a close eye on that. Sugarloaf, I think you guys are going to see, you'll get a decent storm out of this one, but if it's just not the perfect setup for you guys, for just a little bit too far up towards the north. When you get close to, say, Berlin and Rangeley, where you're getting close to the line from 2 to 4, 3 to 6, you're probably closer to the 3, 4, 5 inch range instead of the 4, 5, even 6 inch range. A little bit on the lower side as you head up towards the far north. So that is certainly something that we are paying attention to. And Michelle tuning in. No, not in Augusta. I wish I had better news for you, Michelle. But hey, we have White Christmas, so that is White Christmas is looking pretty darn likely at this point. What's the timing for Cumberland County? I would say you guys, well, I mean, it depends, but generally it will probably start, through 3 to 5 p.m. on Tuesday and then last through, I would say, the morning hours. I think what you're going to have is the steadiest snow in Cumberland County, 8 p.m. again to 4 a.m. on Wednesday. And then we are looking at snow showers continuing into the morning hours for the southern part of the state. Central and southern Maine, specifically with, snow showers continuing maybe through 8, 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. And I do think skies will start to clear as we head after that. What else do we have? Got a lot of you guys tuning in. I appreciate it, of course. York County, Travis, the same thing. I would say we're probably talking, you might, if you're in Kittery or you're in York, you might start seeing your first snowflakes like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think that may be a little bit too early, but I do think for the most part, we are looking at it's starting during the mid-afternoon hours, York County. Rumford, Susan tuning in. Hello to you. Susan, I would say Rumford, you're probably around 4 inches. So call it 3 to 5, but I would say, if I had to put a specific number on Rumford, I would say about 4 inches. So, of course we will continue to watch that. Let me get to the 7-day really quick. So, I know you guys want to see this one as well. So we also have a very busy pattern, but there is some good news in the 7-day forecast. So we have the snow developing for later Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night into early Wednesday. The snow during the morning will clear out. I do think that there will be a little bit of sunshine. If you are traveling for Christmas on Wednesday, I do think the roads during the morning hours could certainly be on the slick side. Most of this will come to an end during the, early to mid morning hours on Wednesday, and it will lighten up as it does so. And then I do think there will be a little bit of clearing as we head through the afternoon, some clouds as well. And then on Thursday, Christmas is looking pretty good. Good. Look at that. Look at that forecast. Partly cloudy skies. Hey, you could see some partly to mostly cloudy skies at times for the day on Thursday. But Christmas right now is looking good. So if you have plans to travel for Wednesday, I would call it afternoon or evening. Hopefully the roads at that point are pretty much cleared on out, and we are going to see a dry Thursday. Now, there is maybe the chance for a snow shower in spots inland on Thursday. I mean, I guess that would just be some festive flakes, if anything. But then we have to watch Friday. Friday right now is a very interesting storm system. I can't go into too many details at this point because of 2 reasons. One, we're just too far away. But 2, of course, I've put a lot of my attention on this system for Tuesday so far. So I've looked into Friday, but I'm kind of just, putting it on the back burner as of right now. But we are watching the potential on Friday for some snow and mix. Computer models all over the place. At one point, one computer model will say we're going to get a good amount of snow. Another one will say we're looking at some freezing rain, especially for areas inland. Another one could say the chance for some rain. So computer models are all over the place on Friday, but there is one thing that I will say is all of them have a storm system around the Friday, even into early Saturday timeframe. So keep a very close eye on Friday, because I know a lot of people, will go travel on Thursday or Wednesday and then stay into the day on Friday, I would keep a very close eye on Friday's storm system just because it could certainly be a mess and you don't want to be traveling in a mess, of course. So you may have to maybe change your plans and leave Thursday night if this storm system moves in on Friday. Right now, again, it looks like, let's just call it a snow wintry mix, even a little bit of rain possible in places. So it's kind of all over the place at this point, but it does look like a storm system at this point is probably going to happen. It's just a matter of what and how much. So that's not it, though. This 7-day forecast also features another storms possible. This one is way out there. We're talking next Sunday, but there is the chance that we could see another storm system develop as we head into the day on Sunday. So, a lot to talk about over the next couple of days. I'll go back to the snowfall map and I will tune into some more questions here. Sorry, my nose is a little itchy. Let me get to some of you guys' question. I've had a couple people ask about York. Miles is asking about York. Bruce also. York, I would say, I think York is probably around 4 inches of snow, 3 to 4 inches of snow. I don't think York gets the 5 or 6 inches. I think York is probably 3 to 4. I would say you guys are just a tiny bit too far south, and that's what it looks like at this point. I would say, again, 3 to 4 inches in the York area, Kittery area, regions like that. As you head up towards, again, Cumberland County and the mid-coast, we could see some heavier bands set up in that area overnight Tuesday into Wednesday morning. But right now it looks like York probably about 3 to 4 inches or so. John, just tuning in, start and end. I would say, most of this starts Tuesday, 2 to 5 p.m. from west to east, and it probably ends during the morning hours on Wednesday. I would call it 4 to 8 or 9 a.m. Once you get past about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's probably just some light snow showers falling. And then skies may even clear a little bit as we head into the afternoon on Wednesday. Vivian, hello to you. Sanford, again, I think you guys are probably closer to the 3 to 4 inch range. Why don't we put 4 for you guys? I'm going to go 4 for the Sanford area. I'm going to be honest, there's some of these towns that I just don't know where they are. So I can have a little fun and use my GPS and search it. Like I should know where Bridgeton is, but I had a little struggle there. Bridgeton, Jason, hello to you. Bridgeton, I would say you're around, again, I think a lot of the places are going to see around 4 inches of snow. I would say, if you're in the Sebago Lake area, a little bit north of that, you're probably talking about 4 inches of snow, 3 to 5 inches if you want to have a little bit of a range. And then somebody was asking about Brunswick. I don't know. Right here, Diane. Diane, you are actually in a very interesting spot because let me go back to the map that I was showing you guys earlier. I was talking about this, and this is something that I think will set up, again, not unusual to see, but this black dotted line essentially is what's known as an inverted trough. As it does so, as it moves through, I should say, you can get banding that sets up. And I do think from Cumberland County through the mid-coast, you have the best chance to see some of that banding set up. That being said, Brunswick, you could see upwards of 5, 6, maybe even a little bit more of snow, 5, 6 inches of snow. So be prepared for the Brunswick area in particular. Somebody else asking about Gorham as well. You're in that area as well. I mean, I think that there's going to be spots that see upwards of 5, 6, even 7 inches of snow. I think most of us see between 3 to 6. But again, the Cumberland County through the mid-coast area, we do have to watch. There could be some heightened snowfall totals in those areas. So that's pretty much all I have for now. I will be on at 10 and 11. I don't know exactly what time, how it goes on the weekends. A lot of sports, sometimes shows starts at 11 o'clock. So if you can, check the guide and tune in for tonight. I will have the latest on this storm system and any more details. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And yes, just prepare for a slippery commute on Wednesday morning. That is what it's looking like at this point. So if you can, certainly give yourself a little extra time for the day for the morning hours on Wednesday, I should say. All right, everybody, have a good evening, and I will see you tonight.
This has been live interactive Weather Authority coverage from CBS 13 and Fox 23. Make sure to stay connected with CBS 13 and Fox 23 on air, online, and through these social channels. Thank you for watching.